Good morning. Today we'll mostly be using ham sticks, or in the UK we call them ampros. I'm going to try and see if I can outperform that mag loop I used yesterday, which shouldn't be hard at all. And I've got my MFJ tuner, whip tuner here today, and we'll be playing with that. I'll get back to you when I've set up. Well, I'm all set up, ready to go. Took me about 10 minutes to set this up using the ampro. The whip's right at its end. I could, if I wanted to, bring my painter's pole tomorrow, which I will do, and I'll tune that to resonance and not have a tuner. You know, I'm moving off subject here. I'm talking about what I'm doing tomorrow. What I'm doing today is using my MFJ Deluxe whip tuner, which is the MFJ-1644. Brilliant little bit of kit. It's literally taken me about 5-10 minutes to set the station up. I'm all tuned up, SWRs 1-to-1. Tuned, it's handy, it's got a tuned counterpoise. You can tune the counterpoise to it to get max ground current going down it or whatever. So let's see if this can outbeat the Looper MLAS mag loop. I don't think it's going to take much to beat it, because Pat couldn't hear me yesterday. Let's see if he can hear me properly on this today.
Okay, John.
Yeah, started.
We're hearing the same stations. I clicked a bit down and a bit up, and this seems like the best one to try. So just stand by a moment and I'll text down the frequency to everyone else. We've got a cloudy morning here. Beautiful yesterday, 26 degrees, but I'm sure you got it a lot hotter. EI2JW.
Nice here.
Yeah, it's 23.3 at the moment, Pat.
I'm getting warmer.
Yep. Back in a sec, just texting.
Morning all, G7CRQ portable.
Good signal, Adam. So what aerial today, over?
I'm using I'm using an ampro 40 metre quarter wave whip. It's a basic quarter wave mobile aerial, but it's plugged into my MFJ 1644 Deluxe whip tuner, which is it's got a tunable counterpoise on it as well. So apart from being able to match the antenna in, I can tune the counterpoise. So hopefully I'm going to do this as a comparison. This compared to the mag loop I was using yesterday. Can people hear me? This is Golf 7 Charlie Radio Quebec Portable, Queen Mary's Park.
Golf figure 6, Japan X-ray America. It's Kim as well. But Pat says texting the frequency out, etc. I'm not sure this is with us again. But anyway, Kim's called in, Pat, at EI2JW. Yes, G8MNY, EI2JW. Yes, I'm back, John, and hearing Kim okay, but Adam is only about 2 and 2, 3 and 3 with me on that over.
Still better than yesterday.
5 9 plus with me, John, and Kim. I'll have to give you a signal report. I'll put it back to you, Kim. Check how you're copying. G6JXA and the net EI2JW. Yeah, Echo India 2, Juliet Whiskey, G6JXA. Well, good morning, everybody. Currently, Pat, you're about 4x4. John, his usual 5 and 3, because he's on the Delta loop. No offence, mate. And Adam about 5 and 5. Echo India 2, Juliet Whiskey, Golf 6, Juliet X-ray Alpha. G6JXA and the net, Echo India 2, Juliet Whiskey at Carrickboy, Bantry, County Cork. Okay, Kim, you're 5, 6, 5, 7 throughout that over, so good copy at
and the group from M7 early in. You're varying with me today, Pat. It's from 4 and 3. The best I've had is 5 and 7. Between 4 and 3 and 5 and 7. EI2JW and the group from M7 LEN.
Yeah, M7 LEN. EI2JW, yeah, about 8590.
Oh, there's a bit of QSB today, as there always is.
Is there anyone else who would like to join this morning? If so, go now to EI2JW, nothing heard there in the break, so we've got G8MNY, G7CR portable, G8 saying coming in. I think you've got a fairly warm day again then today. I think we're down to about 19 or 20 as the forecast today, with maybe a little bit of rain.
Oh, sorry for the wobbly camera.
Yesterday I did quite a long drive to Terry, all through mountain passes and mountain roads that came back a different way. So it was either that or do an exceedingly long drive on, let's say, not so rigorous roads, but beautiful scenery nonetheless, and sunny throughout the day, but a bit tiring on the driving. So, John, hopefully copy's holding up. G8MNY and the net from EI2JW. Yeah, just going into a dip at the moment there, Pat, but 5 and 8 is your best signal. This is what you sound like. It's all through mountain passes and mountain roads that came back a different way. It was either that or do an exceedingly long drive on. So that's a bit of you, G8MNY, returning. If I swap aerials for Kim's benefit, there we are, that's the dipole, Kim, that's the dipole.
Come on, focus.
And that's the delta loop there. But that's that. So this end I managed to pick up all this silent key stuff yesterday. So my band's absolutely stuffed full, and I've just been sorting out a P300 Revex, never heard of them. Power supply all seems to work, started up a little bit, may go into the club junk sale, etc. There's another 690, another Benos PA, you get the idea. I've got one of those, so I might just keep it for spec. That's the choice I have, whether I want to keep this junk or pass it on. But there's about 30 boxes full of stuff, including Spectrum computers and Sinclair, this, that and the other. So all sorts of junk there. That's the trouble. You've got to pick it all up and then work out if any of it's of any use to anybody, etc. But there we go. Okay, Adam, you mentioned, it's a quarter wave whip, so it really is a 32-foot whip then, because that's what a quarter wave is. It could be a loaded whip, like using a car, and that's a much smaller thing, of course, with a few kc's bandwidth. But certainly you're getting out to quite a good signal to me, but Pat was only just about reading you there. So G7CRQ, portable, G8MNY.
Yeah, G8MNY, G7CRQ. Yeah, it's basically a quarter wave mobile loaded whip. You know, it's at least it's an improvement on yesterday. That mag loop was basically a waste of time. It's very inefficient on the lower bands. It's not much better on the higher bands. It probably when a sunspot cycle picks up, it might be useful. I have some more experiments to do with that loop. I might put a bigger loop on it, just to test it, see if it makes it a bit more efficient. But I'm not that worried about it at the moment. We've got plenty of other things to do. There's another area I want to test out tomorrow. I'll have to get here a little bit early to set it up. Be using the same tuner I'm using at the moment, but that will be a hopefully, if I can get here in time, be a half wave length of wire on 40, so it'd be about 66 foot of wire. and I use the same tuner as I'm using now, and have the tune counterpoise on it as well. So that'd be interesting. I haven't done that yet. I've done it with the roach pole and the 33-foot wire with this tuner before, and it works brilliantly. So it'd be interesting to see what we do with a half wave, and that'll work well on 80 meters as well, hopefully. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know that the spectrums you got there, John. Don't put them down as junk, because there's lots with the old spectrums and stuff. They're sort of like part of the retro thing now, and they're collectible. So don't think there's not any money in the old Sinclair Spectrum computers, because there's a whole community which are out looking for those ones, especially if it's the 48K Sinclair Spectrum. So and if it's in good condition with all the rubber pads on it, keypads, sort of like all there, it's that'll have some value to it. Be interested to know what the Benos PA is, if it's a VHF, 1 UHF or HF. Be interesting to know. Anyway, yeah, Pat, you as long as you can hear me, Pat, that's better than it was yesterday, because you couldn't hear me at all, and it's all down to conditions at the end of the day. It seems to be more favourable towards the south at the moment. There's a lot of Spanish and Italian stations being picked up at the moment. Can't hear much of Northern Europe. There's not many German or other stations from that neck of the woods on. Yeah, I'll pass it back to you, Pat, and hopefully you heard most of my this QSO. EI2JW to take from Golf 7 Charlie Radio Quebec Portable.
Yeah, over to you, Pat. Yeah, okay, John. Thanks for relaying. Adam, you're about 3 and 3 on that over just as the and there another station on frequency came up quite strong. I understand you're using the road pole antenna, but
No, no.
where you're operating from, but imagine it's probably St Mary's Park in Carshalton. So I don't know if anyone else heard that other station that came up, but if there is bother, I'm sure Tim will have noticed, but I'll just take anyone else who'd like to join them in. So there is go now from Echo India to Juliet Whiskey, the listen point. Right, nothing heard there. Well, hope the changeover to you, Kim, is when the signal is good. G6J,
Yeah, it is.
Echo India 2, Juliet Whiskey, Bantry, County Cork. Yeah, take it, Kim. Thank you, John. G6JXA. Yeah, I've temporarily lost Pat. So he is a bit borderline occasionally. So there we are. That's all down to the QSB, what I think is somebody running around. What I think is somebody running around with something like a vacuum cleaner, because the noise level is varying a bit cyclically. Not necessarily, you know what I mean. Adam, you're 5 and 4, and fine, yes, a good 5 and 5, 5 and 7 on the dipole jump. Good morning to Len, 5 and 5, all okay. And for you, Len, I've got the answers. I've got the answer phone switching working. So there we are. If I can ring myself and get the answer phone, it must be working. So there we are. Right, okay. Echo India 2 Juliet Whiskey, G6JXA, over.
That doesn't help.
G6JXA, and the Nat Echo India 2 Juliet Whiskey in Bantry County Cork.
I'm going to pause it for a bit, because it just gets too long. Right, this is the final round before we close the net for today.
Out, that just leaves you, John, Adam and Kim.
go round in that order. I don't know how much you copied of previous overs, John, but it seems like you've done a good job in retrieving all that silent key equipment, and I'm sure it can be recycled in a good way. G8MNY and Annette from Echo India to Juliet Whiskey.
Yeah, fine, Pat, G8MNY. Yeah, well, you know, somebody likes this stuff, and I don't like it just being dumped. The amplifier I got here is not quite the same as my one. I thought it was. It's the Benos low, is it LPA or something, 50 space 10-50. Well, the one I've got here is a 3-50. So I'm interested to see what the difference is. I think there is a 10-watt PA to drive it as well, a tiny little thing about the size of a matchbox. So a bit messy trying to do it. I dare say it's just got an input attenuator. I would be surprised whether one amplifier's got 2 transistors and the other's got 1, but it might be like that. So something to investigate, etc. But to say, comes to another 690 there, which I'll have the 12 volts found the wrong way on the socket there, which I think is a real hazard, having the outer case plus. So Pat, yeah, you've been well over the 9 for a little bit of that over, and the delta loop is now the best area again. So you just completely faded 20 dB or so on the delta loop, and you were best on the dipole. You know, it's just amazing as the conditions and the sky alters, etc. Well, I'm going to have lunch after this, and then I've got an MOT. So keep your fingers crossed for this bad
So
MOT.
just gone nearly 20 past 10.
Etc.
What time did he get up?
I've got a chair in the van, so that's what I'll do is I'll sit down for the 45 minutes to do the MOT outside, etc. Sunbathing myself or something like that. So that's the plan on that front. It's still got 20 days to run before it's due, you know, but I'd rather know now, etc. Good luck with the weather, by the way, there, Adam, and the little small mobile whip you're using there, and not the magnetic loop or the bigger one. So you're going to spread the bigger one out tomorrow. This is plan, Pat. So will be a bigger signal. So that's all good with me. Yes, this is a phone call out of the blue from this YL there about this junk she's collected. So her house and her partner's house there are absolutely full of his stuff. So he must have been a complete kleptomaniac in terms of collecting this stuff. And it's CB stuff as well, and all sorts of things. So anything possibly useful to her, obviously she's kept. But I did. There was these masks that I'd picked up, and I've used them at the summer camp, etc. And one of the reasons for hanging on to them is to actually go in the car. So if my van's off the air, it's still possible to put up a mask without having to use the van. That was the thing, because most of my things need a big vehicle to put them up. Etc. But these other masks that I picked up earlier in bits and drabs, etc. So certainly quite a lot of clearance, and you've got to think of it like the way Morris thinks of it. You know, she might get some money back for some of this stuff, but she's just thankful for the space, and that's what Morris is always going on about. It's not so much selling it; it's a case of getting his garage back, which I just don't think he's ever done. Anyway, G7CRQ portable, G8MNY.
Yeah, G8MNY, G7CRQ portable. It's always nice to have these sort of sales, and it's when you go around to all the different radio rallies. I'm going to the Cambridge Repeater Group rally on the 19th of September, so probably doing a video of that one, so it'll be interesting to see what stuff I can pick up there. There's still a few things I need for my portable station which I want to play with, but I'll talk about that another time. Well, at least it's conditions today. I think the conditions yesterday were more favourable towards Ireland than they were today. So when it always seems typical when you pass it over to me, Pat, the conditions tend to dip. I think someone upstairs is looking down at me thinking, haha, we're not going to let you have a go properly. But there you go. at least this mobile whip is performing better than the mag loop, which is what I wanted to try out a test. It's just a shame the conditions aren't there to go with it, but things change. I'm going to have a little play around on 80 metres next after this net. I'll have a quick play around on 40 metres to see who I can work. Like I said earlier on, the propagation is more down towards the south rather than from where you are in the west. So be interesting if I can work down into the Mediterranean, over towards Italy and Spain and Portugal. I think that's the stations I was picking up this morning before the net. Didn't hear many Germans or any Eastern European stations up, but there we go. Anyway, I'll pass it back to you, Pat. How many more days are you going to play on radio in the morning before you pack up? Hopefully you heard that. This is Golf 7 Charlie Radio Quebec Portable.
Yeah, okay, Adam. Almost readability for that time, so better than the previous over. Well, many thanks for coming up today. Anyway, Kim, let's see if you're hopping your last but not least, G6 Jag say in the net from Echo India 2 Juliet Whiskey in Bantry County Court. Golf 6 Juliet X Alpha, yeah, fine, Pat. Yes, you're back down to the 4 and 4. You're over before Len. You were up to a good 5 and 5 and 7. But you know, as we say, the conditions are changing, so up and down. So there it is, and yeah, likewise having a quick turn round. I didn't hear many signals there at all, etc. So there we are. But as I say, there were a few signals that weren't on sort of 2.5 kc frequencies, if you know what I mean. Not that they have to be, but just makes it a little bit tricky trying to get in without causing problems for other users of the band. So there we are. Hence me using the 450, not the 735, purely because I can, I can actually see what I'm doing. Hi, Harry.
Have you got a craving for vegetable samosas at the moment?
For that. I just need to.
I know what I'll be having for my lunch today.
I've discovered something. So I think I may be able to work on an alternative method of illuminating the 735 dial, etc. So no panic there. Not that I can't use the radio, it's just a bit more convenient when I'm...
Well, we're coming to the end of the net, and I don't want to make this video drag on any longer, so I'm going to pause it now, because I might want to add some other bits to the video later on. So, please just pass it around anyway, so I shall stop it there and come back a little bit later. Well, I finished here for the morning. I did have a quick scout around the other bands. There wasn't much activity on, but I proved the point. If it weren't for the poor conditions coming in from Pat's direction, which is from the west from me, that aerial outperforms the loop antenna by quite a bit, and if conditions are better towards the west, it would have been a lot better. It's all sort of heading south today with the propagation, so pleased with that. I'm not giving up on that loop antenna. I do intend to experiment. I'm not going to use it as a primary portable antenna. It's not worked out the way I want to, but I might see if I can make a slightly bigger loop for it. I'll have to see how that coax loop is made, and get a longer length of coax and see what I can do to make a bigger loop. But yeah, the other portable aerials I've been using seem to well outperform that looper, MALS mag loop. Right, with that, hopefully tomorrow, Pat's only got another couple of days. I think he's going to have one final day on Friday. That leaves me tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to do some final tests. Friday, I think it's going to be rained off, so I'll be out in a car using the mobile area on that. Tomorrow, I'm I'm going to attempt to put something slightly bigger up in the park. I've had a few chats with some of the locals walking through the park. They don't seem to be that bothered about what I'm up to. They're actually quite interesting, which is good. There's not enough of us amateurs which go out in public parks and play portable radio. And for some reason, you all seem to find the most secluded place you could possibly find to do amateur radio. Which is a shame, really, because that means kids and other normal people which might want to take up the hobby don't get to see us out playing. So I'm all for coming to public parks like this. I'm not worried about the footfall. I'm not worried about people asking me, what are you doing? Because you never know. I might be able to get a couple of them to bite the bullet and take on the hobby and go and do all their exams. And especially if it's young people and they're still at school, it might inspire them to become some kind of engineer or whatever, instead of doing what we normally do in this country recently. It's just aim for a service sector society, when really we need engineers and other skilled trained people. With that, at the end of that rant, I'm going to head off down to the shop and buy myself some lunch. And I think it's going to be the last hot sunny day of the year, I think, so I'm going to make the most of it and go for a ride on the bike and probably do the Wandle Trail. I haven't done that for a while. If you look back on my video catalogue, it's probably the last video in the list. It's the oldest video on the channel. That's got the Wandle Trail. That's what I'll be doing today. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye.